The mayor in Ekurhuleni in Gauteng, the ANC's Nkosinpindle Xhakaza, has now removed his member of the mayoral committee for finance. The EFF's Nkululeko Dunga. Dunga is also the chair of the EFF in Gauteng. The ANC and the EFF have an agreement to govern together in Ekurhuleni, but it does appear at this stage, a lot can change over the next 12 hours, that the economic freedom fighters may not be a part of the government of national unity led by the ANC. That may mean that it's no longer able to govern with the ANC in local government. Jongizizwe Dlabathi is the co-ordinator for the Ekurhuleni ANC Regional Task Team. Jongizizwe, good afternoon to you. You're welcoming this decision by Mayor Xhakaza. He is your mayor. Why do you believe he did the right thing by removing Nkululeko Dunga?
No, thank you very much for the opportunity, and good afternoon to you and the viewers at home. You will recall, Steve, that immediately when the RTT was put in place, one of
Jongizizwe, I'm so sorry to interrupt. We can't see your face. There we are. If you could just continue. I asked you. Sorry about that. We lost you on the camera there.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah,
why do you believe your mayor did the right thing?
Yeah, I was saying, you will recall that upon our appointment as the RTT, we conducted an assessment of government, and part of what was raised in that report was the serious regression in the financial position of the city. The executive mayor, having assumed his responsibility, he was very clear that we need to improve in that regard in terms of revenue enhancement, so that we are in a position to use that as a basis of providing sustainable basic services. Secondly, was that we should be approving the budget in a manner that is responsive to the needs of our communities and follow through all the processes. But what transpired with the updated report that we received as the office bearers of the ANC in Ekurhuleni from the deployed executive mayor was that there seemed to be a mishandling of the budget processes by the MMC of Finance, but equally there are not demonstrable efforts that seek to improve the revenue enhancement of the city. And as we speak to you, the situation is dire. It has actually regressed to an extent that it poses a risk on our ability to live up to the expectation of local government, purely because we do not have a budget that has been approved on time. On 2 occasions, council had to reject the budget purely because of the mishandling of the processes. And now we are sitting with a financial crisis in the city of Ekurhuleni. On the basis of those 2 aspects, the mayor saw it fit to move with speed in ensuring that he takes a decision. It's not a political, but it's a performance-based decision. Okay. That we can't afford a situation where to date we don't have a budget approved, which is a tool to implement our mandate, and that the finances of the city, they seem not to be moving purely because there is no effort on the part of the MMC to improve that revenue. So we do welcome that decision in a sense that it points to our commitment of upholding performance, accountability, and when necessary, we should be able to institute consequence management, irrespective of which political party and MMC is coming from.
All right. Jongizizwe, I mean, I'm sure the EFF is going to be quite angry at this. You say it's not a political decision, but this is surely going to affect your decision with the EFF unless you appoint another councillor from the EFF to replace him.
Well, I will not speak on behalf of the EFF. I am a member of the African National Congress. Mine is to provide clarity to you that there were bases for the ANC deployed executive mayor to institute that decision of removing the mayor on the basis of non-performance on the 2 areas of mishandling of the budget and the lack of advancing practical means to improve the revenue. So the EFF will have to speak for itself in terms of what is the next course of action that they are taking. And of course, we must allow the executive mayor to make a determination in terms of how he then appoints to the position. Safe to say that we need a person that is fit for a purpose.
Okay. Councillor Dlabathi, have you taken a decision to no longer govern with the EFF in Ekurhuleni?
No, there's no such a decision. You will recall that also we do not have a coalition arrangement with the EFF. We are in some collaborative governance with the EFF. So there is no a formal binding coalition agreement that we do have a relationship with the EFF. But because we needed to ensure that the work of government is not stifled and that there is leadership, we saw it fit at the time to collaborate with the EFF. But this does not preclude the fact that when there are areas of non-performance, we can institute consequence management. And we appreciate the decisiveness of the executive mayor, because this is what is stated in the State of the City address and when he was accepting this responsibility, that for him, it's about delivery, performance, accountability, and intervention where it's necessary. So this decision does not necessarily really hinder on any form of a coalition arrangement, which we do not have. It's a pure performance decision, which the ANC has welcomed in the spirit of making sure that the city is able to approve the budget and that the city is able to improve its revenue base.
Many things are happening at the moment, Councillor Dlabathi, and I realize that you are the coordinator of the regional task team in Ekurhuleni, so a region. There are reports today that the Gauteng province of the ANC has taken a decision to end these informal working relationships with the EFF in councils. Are you aware of that?
The leadership of the province will communicate officially if there is any decision of that nature. So it is not for me really to confirm what you might have picked up, because there's no official statement as far as I know. I am sitting in the Provincial Executive Committee in my capacity as an ex-officio. So there has not been any formal decision which is communicated in the public domain. And I think we must afford the leadership of the ANC in Gauteng to conclude all the negotiations and communicate accordingly to the people of Gauteng on how we are moving politically, organizationally, as well as at the level of government.
Okay, a lot's going to happen. And it would seem, I mean, you tell me, you're the politician, but it would seem to me quite difficult to still be working with the EFF in Ekurhuleni and in Joburg, for that matter, if, in fact, the DA and the ANC are working together in Gauteng, the province, as part of a government of national unity. I mean, that must be the case. I mean, to work with the EFF in local government and to work with the DA in provincial government, if that's what happens, would surely be quite difficult.
Yeah, I think in all fairness, we must desist from wanting to link the local government sphere to what is currently unfolding insofar as the province as well as the national government. Probably it is prudent to treat this independently and allow those discussions to unfold and see how do we form a government. Our view is that we should see each and every sphere independently and appreciate the dynamics in each and every sphere. So the mutatis mutandis approach, it will not be helpful at this point in time. If there is a cause that justify any realignment at the local government, it will be informed accordingly. But at this point in time, our view is that let's independently deal with what is happening, provincial and national, conclude that process as we continue to fix the local government and make sure that it continues to be at the center of providing services.
Jongizizwe Dlabathi, thank you. The Regional Task Team Coordinator in Ekurhuleni for the African National Congress. For more developments, of course, I suspect in local, provincial, and from tomorrow, national governments to come. Well, on that note, more